what I've heard in this trial, and by the way, Mr. Richards absolutely correctly points out that just hours ago, I said I had heard nothing in this trial to change any of my rulings. So why?
Testimony, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
That was before the defense testimony.
Don't get brazen with me.
In a world where the courtroom is a symbol of justice, some trials reveal the intense human emotions behind legal battles. From Judge Fred Schott's fierce clashes with prosecutors to Judge Paige Whitaker's controversial rulings, these cases of courtroom drama will leave you questioning the fine line between fairness, integrity, and the pursuit of truth. Let's begin.
For me, not for you.
My understanding of
You should have come and asked for reconsideration. You did on
November 11, 2021, a courtroom in Kenosha, Wisconsin became the center of national attention during the high-stakes trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, a teenager charged with killing 2 men and injuring another during protests in August 2020. The case highlighted a growing divide in public opinion, but in the courtroom, the focus was on Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger's prosecutorial decisions. Judge Bruce Schroeder's fiery exchange with Binger left many questioning the prosecution's strategy and the fairness of the trial. At 17, Kyle Rittenhouse traveled to Kenosha amid protests over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Armed with a rifle, he claimed to be protecting local businesses. By the end of the night, 2 men were dead and 1 was wounded. Rittenhouse argued he acted in self-defense, a claim heavily scrutinized throughout the trial. Prosecutor Thomas Binger faced numerous challenges. Witness testimony often backfired, unintentionally supporting Rittenhouse's self-defense claims. Gage Grosskreutz admitted under cross-examination that he approached Rittenhouse with a gun before being shot. Legal experts criticized Binger's decision to present certain witnesses, questioning their strategic value.
Did you hear anything of people yelling?
At one point, somebody did shout, "Get him."
The trial took a dramatic turn when Binger attempted to introduce evidence of Rittenhouse's past comments about wanting to shoot looters. This move angered Judge Schroeder, who accused Binger of overstepping his boundaries and violating pretrial orders. The tension boiled over during Binger's cross-examination of Rittenhouse, when Binger suggested Rittenhouse had tailored his testimony by remaining silent before the trial. Judge Schroeder erupted. "You're right on the borderline, and you may be over," Schroeder warned, accusing Binger of infringing on Rittenhouse's constitutional rights.
when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that.
The judge's frustration intensified when Binger referenced a pretrial video of Rittenhouse discussing the use of force against looters. Schroeder, visibly furious, dismissed the jury and berated Binger for introducing the evidence without permission. The defense quickly filed for a mistrial, accusing Binger of provoking the judge to force a redo of the trial.
There were 3 people right there.
Despite the heated exchanges, the trial proceeded. Both sides presented their closing arguments, with Binger emphasizing video evidence to counter Rittenhouse's self-defense claim. The case concluded with deliberations that captivated the nation. While the trial's outcome remains debated, it underscored the complexities of legal strategy and courtroom dynamics.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? No. Would you wish the jury polled?
No.
The case served as a stark reminder of the immense pressure on both prosecutors and judges in high-profile trials. Binger's missteps and Schroeder's fiery rebukes highlighted the emotional toll such cases can take. The trial wasn't just about Kyle Rittenhouse. It reflected broader societal tensions and the fine line between justice and legal strategy. Through it all, the courtroom became a stage for a much larger debate on law, self-defense, and public trust.
Homicide, attempted homicide, and reckless endangerment.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Judge Schroeder's explosive scolding of the Rittenhouse trial left the courtroom in turmoil. Breaking news: Evil Lives Here now has merch. Support the channel and grab your gear today. Check the link in the description. The next case reveals the haunting world of mental health and justice.
Happened, what the reaction was.
But can't she also explain, Judge, that word with regards to official, that she was aware that other people?
No.
The courtroom of the Morris County Courthouse became a focal point of tension and drama during the trial of ex-Olympian Michael Barrasone. Once a celebrated equestrian coach, Barrasone's life took a shocking turn when he was accused of shooting his tenant, Lauren Kennerek, twice in August 2019. However, in a rare legal decision, Barrisone was acquitted of attempted murder and found not guilty because of insanity. His case not only revealed deep personal struggles, but also raised important questions about mental health and justice.
Given the fact that a mentor of Mr. Barrisone's was banned for life from...
Barrisone's trial began in March 2022, captivating the nation as it was live-streamed and covered by major outlets like CBS. His defense hinged on the claim that he suffered from severe delusions, believing Canarek and her fiancé, Robert Goodwin, were plotting to kill him. The once vibrant and confident coach had become withdrawn and paranoid, haunted by a mental disorder that rendered him legally insane at the time of the shooting. Canarek, who had moved into Barrisone's farm in 2018, testified tearfully about the incident. She had been shot twice in the chest, requiring emergency surgery. Despite the gravity of her injuries, the jury found that Barrisone's actions stemmed from his fragile mental state, not criminal intent. The defense also revealed a troubled relationship between Barrisone and Canarek. Barrisone had repeatedly attempted to evict Canarek, even calling 911 multiple times to report harassment. These disputes, coupled with Canarek's inflammatory social media posts, pushed Barrisone further into a state of fear and delusion. The trial reached a pivotal moment as a series of doctors took the stand, describing Barrisone's deteriorating mental health. They testified that his delusions had completely clouded his judgment, leaving him unable to comprehend his actions. Judge Stephen Taylor listened intently as both the prosecution and defense presented their case. The courtroom was divided. While some saw Barrisone as a man driven to the edge by his circumstances, others questioned whether justice had fully been served. The jury's decision to acquit Barrisone because of insanity underscored the complexity of the case. This wasn't just about a crime, it was a stark reminder of how mental health issues can disrupt lives in unimaginable ways.
Case subject to moving in some evidence which we're going to address right now during at least part of the lunch and recess, and then we'll begin the defense case in the afternoon.
After his acquittal, Barrisone was sent to Anne Klein Forensic Center and later transferred to Greystone Park Psychiatric Hospital. He remains under treatment with periodic court hearings to assess his progress. At a recent hearing, defense attorneys sought to bar the media and public from future updates on Barrisone's mental health, citing privacy concerns. However, Judge Taylor denied the request, pointing out that Barrisone's psychiatric history had already been widely publicized during the trial. Barrisone's supporters continue to rally behind him, raising funds for his legal expenses and advocating for improved conditions at Greystone. His next court appearance, scheduled for April, will determine if he's ready for more privileges, including supervised day trips. The trial of Michael Barrisone revealed the fragility of the human mind under extreme stress. His journey from a respected Olympian to a patient in a psychiatric hospital reflects the tragic toll of untreated mental health issues. While his acquittal brought some resolution, it also left lingering questions about the balance between justice, public safety, and compassion. This case serves as a poignant reminder that even in the pursuit of truth, the legal system must account for the complex, often unseen struggles of those it judges.
Not guilty by reason of insanity.
The Barrisone trial exposed the fragility of the human mind. The next case takes us to the intense legal battle against one of the infamous street gangs.
Sure, they can have new outfits for court, but it sounds like they're like full wardrobes full of clothing for some of these defendants.
On October 23, 2024, an Atlanta courtroom became the stage for a tense moment in the ongoing RICO trial against rapper Young Thug and the alleged YSL street gang. A motion for mistrial surfaced following a critical misstep during testimony by rapper Slime Life Shotty, whose legal name is Wonnie Lee. This moment was more than just a procedural hiccup. It revealed deeper issues in the case, leading to an explosive exchange between Judge Paige Whitaker and the prosecution. Slime Life Shotty, a former co-defendant who took a plea deal in 2022, was called to testify. While identifying individuals from social media posts, Lee mistakenly read an unredacted version of a paper exhibit instead of the redacted version shown to the jury. This version included the hashtag #FreeQua, revealing one of the defendants, Quardavius Nichols, had been incarcerated for information the jury was not supposed to know.
How long? 6 months, at least the trial part of it. And obviously I'm parachuting in and I'm just going to have to pick up from here and move forward.
Defense attorney Bruce Harvey quickly seized the moment, arguing, "It is painfully obvious that the state is not prepping their witnesses," and called for a mistrial. The unintentional slip jeopardized the trial's integrity, sparking a fierce debate over whether the mistake could taint the jury's perception. Tension in the courtroom hit its peak as Judge Paige Whitaker dismissed the jury and turned her frustration towards the prosecution. "What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so everyone would not have wasted 12 months of their lives in this trial," Whitaker exclaimed, her voice filled with exasperation. The room fell silent as her words underscored the gravity of the situation.
What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Despite the defense's request for a mistrial with prejudice, Whitaker refused but left the door open for a mistrial without prejudice, meaning the case could be retried. The trial, already the longest in Georgia's history, faced yet another delay as the day's proceedings ended in uncertainty. The jury was sent home, and the courtroom fell quiet as the day's session ended. Judge Whitaker had not yet ruled on the motion for mistrial, but her firm scolding of the prosecution sent a clear message. Mistakes like this couldn't happen again. The long-running trial had already tested everyone's patience, and now the future of the case hung in uncertainty. The tense atmosphere lingered as everyone prepared for the next day, hoping for clarity. It was a moment that reminded all involved of the importance of careful preparation and the weight of seeking justice.
That being the writing on the right side of the picture, which we're all squinting at because it's tiny on the piece of paper, and so I am relying upon you to actually be honest.
This case highlights the immense pressure and complexity of high-profile trials. Judge Whitaker's frustration echoed the challenges of balancing fairness with efficiency in a trial that had already consumed so much time. Her fiery response reminds us that even the most experienced legal professionals can struggle with the emotional toil of ensuring justice. For all involved, this trial serves as a stark reminder of how a single error can ripple through an already fragile system.
The choice is yours, it's up to you, and I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's...
Judge Paige's trial shows a heated courtroom battle against Atlanta's YSL gang, but the next case reveals how fiery courtroom exchanges cracks in the justice system.
So are you going to no process that case, or am I going to get mad at you today?
Perhaps you can get mad at me, Your Honor, but at this point...
Why wouldn't you? Wait a minute. Did you hear the uncontroverted testimony of this officer?
On March 11, 2015, a courtroom in Seminole County, Florida became the scene of a fiery exchange between Judge Fred Schott and Assistant State Attorney Diana Myers. The heated discussion revolved around a DUI case involving a defendant, Lisette Gonzalez, whose license had been mistakenly suspended. This case was more than just a legal battle. It revealed cracks in the system that Judge Schott could not ignore. Lisette Gonzalez was arrested in January for driving on a suspended license, which stemmed from a DUI arrest in November. However, the situation took a turn when Judge Schott discovered that the officer who issued the DUI citation, Michael Wagner, had marked that Gonzalez was over the legal limit without conducting a breath or blood test. During the trial, Officer Wagner admitted his mistake, but Judge Schott was furious. He lied on a sworn citation, the judge exclaimed, calling for the officer to be charged with perjury. Myers pushed back, arguing that the officer simply made an error, not an intentional lie. The tension in the courtroom grew palpable as Schott announced, "I am dismissing this charge."
Cannot summarily dismiss, Your Honor, without a motion for us to be able to respond to.
No, I'm dismissing the charge. You can appeal.
During the trial, defense attorney Blaise Tretis shared a critical piece of evidence that changed everything. He revealed that the breath test operator had been available at the time of Lisette Gonzalez's arrest, contradicting Officer Michael Wagner's earlier testimony. Wagner had claimed no breath test could be administered because no operator was present. This new information painted a different picture, one that left Judge Fred Schott deeply frustrated. For Schott, this wasn't just about one officer's mistake, it was about something much bigger. He saw a troubling pattern of carelessness that, if left unchecked, could damage the public's trust in law enforcement and the legal system. To Schott, honesty and precision were non-negotiable, especially in cases that could impact someone's future so profoundly.
Where's the JOA in fairness?
In fairness, because you don't like the state's decision today, Your Honor, on the case?
No, you're not. Now that I consider what Officer Wagner testified to and how many times...
His frustration grew as he considered how easily the situation could have been avoided. If procedures had been properly followed, Lisette might not have found herself in this position. It wasn't just a legal error. It was a breach of the system's responsibility to protect fairness and truth. For Judge Schott, this case served as a stark reminder of how critical every detail is in the pursuit of justice. The tension in the courtroom reached its boiling point as Judge Fred Schott pressed Assistant State Attorney Diana Myers on the integrity of the case. Schott wasn't just frustrated, he was outraged. He lied on a sworn citation, he exclaimed, referring to Officer Wagner's mistake on the DUI report. Myers, trying to stay composed, insisted, "It was a mistake, Your Honor, not a lie." The back and forth captured everyone's attention. People in the courtroom watched in shock as Schott pushed for the officer to be held accountable, demanding justice not only for the defendant, but for the fairness of the legal system. Schott's words carried weight, but they also sparked debate. Some admired his courage to call out what he saw as a serious flaw, while others questioned whether his emotions were clouding his judgment.
Your Honor.
Will you take him up for perjury?
He admitted it was a mistake, Your Honor.
No, but
While Schott's demand for accountability showed his deep commitment to justice, it also hinted at the personal toll of handling such cases. This exchange became a powerful reminder that even those upholding the law face moments where their integrity and patience are put to the test. Following the incident, 18th Judicial Circuit Chief Judge John Harris announced that Schott would be transferred from the Criminal Division to the Civil Division. Schott, who had already expressed interest in the move, transitioned on April 13, 2015. Meanwhile, the state attorney's office appealed Schott's judgment of acquittal in Gonzalez's DUI case.
cause your license to be suspended, and that's the route you wanted to go.
No, Your Honor, that's not
really
the route.
Is that a third case on your docket? I
Yes,
heard that
it
it was
is
on
on
your
my
docket in both.
This case highlights the delicate balance between upholding justice and maintaining trust in the system. Judge Schott's frustration reflected the gravity of errors in law enforcement, yet his outburst also showed the emotional toll of handling high-stakes cases. The courtroom exchange reminds us that the human side of justice is imperfect but driven by a desire for truth. Judge Fred Schott's fiery courtroom exchange revealed cracks in the justice system, but the next case brings us to a trial that captivated the nation. The courtroom dramas in these cases reveal the intricate dance between justice, emotion, and the law. Each story showcases the human struggles behind the bench and the high stakes of every decision. But the pursuit of truth doesn't end here. The next video reveals more chilling cases that challenge the true complexities of the legal system. Keep watching.